morning students. Today we are going to learn about chemistry and the topic name is structure of an atom. So already you know very well atom means it is the tiny particles and two or more atoms are combined together to form molecules. And also you learned Dalton's atomic theory and the laws of chemical combination. So these are the things already last session we saw about it. Now we are going to see about protons and the electrons discovery and their properties. You know that when a plastic ruler is rubbed on dry hair, it attracts piece of paper as it acquires a charge. This shows that matter or atoms are made up of charged particles. The presence of electrons in atoms was proved by English physicist J.J. Thomson. He used a discharge tube for this. Look at the picture. A discharge tube is glass tube sealed at both ends with the two metal plates attached to the two ends. He connected the two metal plates to a high voltage battery. The plate connected to the positive terminal of a battery is called the anode, and the plate connected to the negative terminal of the battery is called the cathode. The glass tube has a side tube through which air is pumped out to provide low air pressure inside the tube. It was found that certain visible rays traveled between the two electrodes when high voltage was applied to the discharge tube at low pressure. These rays were called cathode rays as they seemed to originate at the cathode. The discharge tube was called cathode ray tube. So J.J. Thomson conducted many experiments on cathode rays to study their properties. Okay, so some of the properties of cathode rays are: these cathode rays travel in straight lines as they form a shadow of the object that is placed in between the anode and the cathode. So he concludes that cathode rays travel in straight lines. And the next property, these rays contain negatively charged particles as they are attached towards the positive plate of the externally applied electric field. So, cathode rays contain negatively charged particles. And the next property is, these rays are made up of material particles which have energy in them and can rotate a lightweight pedal kept in between the cathode and the anode. So cathode rays are made up of material particles. When different gases were used in the discharge tube, they all emitted cathode rays with a similar mass and properties. These negatively charged particles with similar mass and properties discovered in cathode rays were named electrons. It is now known that electrons are present in the atoms of all elements. The next we have to know about protons and its discovery and their property. Okay, so after the discovery of cathode ray and the electron, a scientist proposed that there must be positively charged particles in the atom since atoms are electrically neutral. German physicist Goldstein experimentally proved the existence of positive charge in atoms. For this, he used a discharge tube with a perforated cathode when high voltage was applied to the discharge tube, which had air at low pressure. A faint red glow was observed behind the perforated cathode. He noticed that the faint red glow is due to some rays that are produced at anode. Since they are formed at the anode, they are known as anode rays or positive rays. These rays are beams of particles which move in a direction opposite to the cathode rays. Some properties of anode rays are like cathode rays. They travel in straight lines and cast shadows of objects placed in their path. So, like cathode rays, Anode rays are made up of material particles which have energy in them as they rotated a light pedal kept in between the cathode and the anode. Unlike cathode rays, anode rays contains positively charged particles as they are attracted towards the negative plate of externally applied electric field. Unlike cathode rays, anode rays, the nature of the anode rays depends upon the gas in the discharge tube. Different types of positive rays are produced from different gases. The lightest particles were formed when hydrogen gas was placed in the tube. The positively charged particles from hydrogen gas were called protons. Compared to an electron, a proton is very dense. So, you have to know about what are the properties of electrons and protons. I hope you all understood this topic. Thank you.